because he needs to be entirely laser focused on being a ranger. That was the worst time for that to happen. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode review. I've always enjoyed music, but my primary instrument has always been my voice. I've just never had the knack for learning how to play musical instruments. I have tons of respect for people who are able to master something like the piano or even the guitar. But there I go, going off on my silly, unrelated tangents again. Let's take a look at the 13th episode of Beast Morphers, Tuba Triumph. Ravi is in the park sketching. Yes, it turns out that Ravi is an artist. He sees a boy nearby playing the tuba, playing it rather well actually, and sketches him. The other Rangers are nearby playing football, continuing Nate's theme of trying out new sports, when the ball gets away towards Ravi. Zoe goes to get it, and Ravi quickly hides the sketchbook, pulling out a Grid Battle Force manual. Then a group of bullies, who are oddly led by young Aiden's actor from Power Rangers Ninja Steel, come up and begin teasing him for playing the tuba, even pouring soda into it. I guess they just thought he was a bit flat. The young man gets up and throws his tuba into a nearby trash can, something that would absolutely infuriate his parents because musical instruments are actually rather expensive. Ravi sees this and decides to help, getting up and introducing himself to the young man. His name is Joey, and he says he's wanted to stop playing the tuba for a while since it's dumb, and that he's seen Ravi teaching karate at the gym. He asks if Ravi can teach him a couple of moves, and Ravi offers to meet him later that day at the gym. They walk off, and then Roxy teleports in, seeing an opportunity. She grabs the tuba and takes it somewhere nearby, creating Tubatron from it. We're back to the Beast Powers plot, by the way, as she places a data chip onto Tubatron and then tells him to go out and make some noise. He walks out to confront the Rangers, and they morph. Note that we're only like 2 minutes into this episode, we haven't seen the theme song yet, and the Rangers have morphed. Cool. This is just an awesome fight, especially since it's original footage. Roxy decides to make this a duet, jumping in and seeing her first unmorphed fight, and that is true this time. And she kicked butt. It was a really cool subversion seeing an unmorphed villain kicking the Rangers around. But then morph she does. Eventually, the Rangers get the upper hand and the two flee. We follow the two of them back to the cyber dimension, and the nitpicker in me just has to point out that the two of them teleported away, standing perfectly still, but when they teleport into the cyber dimension, they're falling down like they had just been attacked. Scrozzle berates Roxy for the failure. Roxy puts the blame on Tubatron since his sonic blast is too slow to hit the Rangers. Scrozzle looks the Robotron over and promises some upgrades. In the lab, Nate retunes the Gigadrone detectors to detect large sonic waves, or so I thought, so they'll know when Tubatron uses his sonic blaster and be able to pin down its location. The thing is, don't they have sensors for this sort of thing anyway? And why can't the Gigadrone detectors be retuned to detect Robotrons as well, or anything that teleports in from the cyber dimension? By the by, there's a very interesting picture behind Commander Shaw of the Rangers' real-life animals. At the gym, Joey shows up for his training. He says once he learns a couple of moves, nobody's gonna pick on him ever again. Whoa, 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 Joey-kun. Remember, martial arts are only to be used for self-defense. Which is precisely what Joey just said. He wants to learn karate so he can defend himself from being picked on. Anyway, it's time for Joey to learn karate. So we're gonna need a montage. As much as I'd just like to cut through this montage for the interest of time, there are a couple of quick things I want to point out about it. One, at this point here, Joey is doing full-on sit-ups while Ravi is only doing crunches. There's some debate about which is the more intense workout, but I just found it interesting. Number 2, I started to like the fact that they changed clothes to reflect that some time had passed, but there's only one other outfit, and they switch back and forth, so it's hard to even tell what that means. Once Joey has some of the basics down, Ravi decides to teach him a tornado kick, but he just can't get it right. He gets frustrated and Ravi says he should take a break, do something that makes him happy. Joey says that was playing his tuba, but he trashed it, and maybe he shouldn't have. Ravi seems to get an idea, just saying okay, and then saying they'll meet up for training again tomorrow. Scrozzle installs an upgrade onto Tubatron that will increase his Technobabble Whatsits to even higher levels. Roxy must be from Missouri because she'd much rather Tubatron show her. On Blaze. Blaze tells Tubatron not to dare try it. And this is our dramatic cut to the theme song? Go ahead, blast him, it'll be funny. And indeed, Tubatron blasts Blaze through a wall, and it was funny. It was not, however, dramatic. Anyway, Roxy is very pleased and says the Rangers will dance to the tune of destruction soon enough. In the lab, Ravi is cleaning some old musical instruments, including a tuba, when Ben and Betty come in. They get really excited and say they want to form a band. Betty grabs a trumpet and blows some dust onto Ben's face. Okay, little light comic relief. I don't really mind it all that much. It was kind of funny. Though I am afraid of what's coming. Commander Shaw walks in and asks if that's her father's tuba. Nice touch reminding us of the familial connection. Oh yeah, by the way, because Ravi had told Joey earlier that his grandfather played tuba in a jazz band. Forgot to mention that. However, I really don't like Commander Shaw's attitude about all of this. She says that she hopes her son isn't planning to learn to play some silly musical instrument because he needs to be entirely laser focused on being a Power Ranger. He asks if it's okay to give the tuba to a friend of his, and she basically says, "It's fine, I don't care, musical instruments are stupid, and you must be entirely focused on being the Blue Ranger." More on this later. Oh, good. Oh, joyous rapture. Right back to Ben and Betty. Ben tries playing a saxophone, but it seems to be clogged. Their solution to this is to hook it up to a wet dry vac to blow through it in reverse and filling the thing with soap. Eventually, it blows a stream of bubbles that knocks them clear across the hallway. Data, Jordy?
That was not funny.
Ravi and Joey train more at the gym, but Joey still just cannot land that tornado kick. Ravi pulls him aside to a table, moving some of his bags off the table, but not grabbing his sketchbook. Joey grabs it and starts looking through Ravi's art. Ravi is embarrassed, saying he knows he's not very good and he's not ready to tell people about this just yet, but Joey thinks it's great. I personally loved how most of the art in the sketchbook is pictures of him and Roxy. That was a great character note. Joey grabs a loose page from the sketchbook and hides it in his bag. Ravi gives Joey the tuba, and while he's grateful, he knows that now he's going to get teased again for playing it. Ravi delivers the moral of the day. Yep, straight up Ninja Steel style. Life is about standing up for what you believe in and doing the things that make you happy, regardless of what others think. Of course, this moral does need to be learned by Ravi himself, so there's a little bit of nuance to it, but it's still just very direct for Beast Morphers. Joey takes the tuba back to the park and starts playing. So apparently, Nate didn't retune the Gigadrone detectors to detect large sonic blasts, but specifically tuba music. Okay, I guess the tuba isn't that common of an instrument for people to be playing outside, so sure. The detectors pick up Joey's playing, and Commander Shaw sends the Rangers. They get to the park and find this a rather cute false alarm. They then get blasted to the side by Tubatron. The Rangers morph, a very nice running instamorph. But didn't Joey just see that? Anyway, we have to satisfy the subplot, so Devin uses his cheetah speed to run up and slash Tubatron, recording the red beast power. Tubatron blasts the Rangers back, and they're unable to get away from the more powerful blast. Nate theorizes if they could generate a Jackrabbit Zord's similar sound wave, they could cancel out Tubatron's attack. Oh, heroes, here we go! Joey hears this and bravely runs in front of the Rangers to defend them. Tubatron blasts at him, he plays his tuba back at the monster, and not only are the two forces equal, but he actually pushes the monster back and blasts it away.
Excuse me, did you just say?
Joey overpowers the amplified Robotron and blasts it back.
Excuse me, what?
Joey overpowers monster, knocks back.
No, 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 no!
The Rangers use their blasters to knock the upgrade off of the monster. Nate and Steel stay back to defend Joey while the other Rangers charge at the monster. It blasts back, and while this is played for going to commercial drama, it's a smaller, narrower beam again, so the Rangers just duck under it and blast it, hitting the data chip. Roxy grabs it and takes off back for the cyber dimension, but oops, the blast fried the data chip. No beast powers this time. Roxy tells Scrozzle to send a Gigadrone since the Rangers are busy, Jackrabbit Zords, with Tubatron and will not be able to defend the city. Roxy, hun, you're better than that. Have you been paying any attention? The Rangers have 2 Megazords now. There are 5 Rangers. They split up to fight Gigadrones and Robotrons all the time. Commander Shaw calls Nate and tells him about the incoming Tubatron. Nate takes a moment to record the sound of Joey's tuba. The Rangers keep fighting the Robotron while Nate calls for a pickup vehicle. Nate, this would be a pretty good time to get in your Zord, but I guess there's something he has to take care of. Okay, and seriously, this woman has been in like every single episode of this show, and she doesn't even have a name. If we do not get a subplot dedicated to this woman, I'm gonna flip a table. Anticlimactic battle with the monster, which kinds of undercuts Roxy saying the Rangers were busy, since before the Gigadrone even arrives, the Rangers destroy Tubatron with their Beast X cannons. They board up onto their Zords and head out to fight Tubatron. Nate sends the Rangers the audio file of Joey's tuba, at the very least amplified in volume, so it makes a little more sense than that foolishness from earlier.
It's not a trumpet! Tuba.wave. Oh.
And oh yes, by the way, Nate and Steel are sitting out this Zord fight as well, another episode adapted from before their arrival. Tubatron advances on a Morphex tower, but Ravi's Zord jumps in the way. Tubatron fires a sound blast, and Ravi fires back with the audio file, which cancels it out. This gives Zoe and Devin a chance to get their licks in, and they break the tuba section of the giant monster so it can't make more sound waves. At this point, you kind of figure that Devin could just finish this thing off himself, but the Rangers still take the time to pad out the episode by forming the Megazord, and they finish it off that way. At the gym, Joey and the Rangers are reenacting the last scene of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, Joey telling the Rangers, unmorphed obviously, about what happened and how he wishes Ravi could have been there. Oh, good! So he doesn't know who the Rangers are, despite standing right there and looking right at them when they morphed.
It's dumb, and it's stupid, and it's stupid, and it's dumb.
Ben and Betty walk by, oh goody, about to have their first practice session for the band that we're surely never going to hear about again. And the gym is just the perfect place to practice music. Anyway, the gag here is that the saxophone still doesn't work. So the bullies walk in and start bullying Ben and Betty, who are both grown freaking adults. Not Aiden grabs the saxophone and tries to play it himself, blowing soap on his two cohorts.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
He says that Ben did that on purpose and goes to, "What, beat them up? Again, they're grown adults!" Joey jumps in, telling Not Aiden to back off. Or what? Joey nails the tornado kick, knocking the bully's hat off, and the three of them run away, because that's what happens in every stereotypical bully story. Ravi congratulates Joey, and now Joey has a gift for Ravi. He framed the drawing that he snuck away from Ravi, both as a thank you for the karate lessons and as a little reminder of the moral of the day. Life is about being yourself, no matter what. For the first time in 13 episodes, I'm not looking forward to this. Heroes, let's throw some shades. Episode 13, Tuba Triumph. Pros, a good child actor for once. Roxy steals the show yet again, and small character notes. Cons, badly handled moral, Ben and Betty regressing to the norm, and a general sense of pointlessness. I'm gonna be blunt here. Beast Morphers, you're better than this. Tuba Triumph gets 2.5 shades out of 5. No hyperbole, this may have been the best child actor we have ever seen on Power Rangers. Credit to one Lucas Maher. He was actually believable, his excitement about karate and the tuba, and his sadness about getting bullied. His gesture of getting Ravi's drawing framed even comes across as genuine and warm-hearted. Liana Ramirez can seemingly do no wrong lately. She just published a book, a young adult fiction novel called The Secret Within Me, and it's getting pretty strong reviews. And Roxy has just been going from strength to strength. She may already be my favorite female villain. She just oozes confidence, strength, and delicious evil. And this episode had some smaller character notes that I still really enjoyed. Ravi's art is obviously the biggest of them, and seeing as at the end of the episode when Joey gave him the framed art, he still checked if the other Rangers were looking, that's obviously a character note we're going to move forward with. But there were also things just as minor as Nate playing football with the other Rangers. Badly, but still making an effort to learn to play sports along with Steele and the others. And then there's the conversation with Commander Shaw, which I almost included as part of the cons actually, because her attitude about the whole thing just really sort of dehumanizes her. She's talking about her father's beloved tuba as if it's some meaningless distraction and duty is the only thing that matters. But it was a nice reminder of the Shaw family dynamic, where all too often she's just Commander Shaw, even to Ravi. You know I didn't pull the moral of the day banner out just to check the tires. No, this was classic Ninja Steel moral delivery, where the entire plot of the episode just stops so that one of the characters can go, "This is the lesson that you should learn today, kids." Dealing with being bullied might be the quintessential Power Rangers moral, but it was just ungraceful and uncomfortable. Do you remember how last week I pointed out how nice it was that Ben and Betty were just kind of there? Friends of the Rangers that pushed the plot forward gently, but were not played for gags? Well, that sure was a nice break. Now back up on that comic relief wheel, you two. If that first scene with them where Ben got dust on his face from the trumpet, if that had been it and they then left the room and the plot, that would have been fair enough. But to do the stupid, asinine Bubbles gag was just taking it a step too far for me. I give them the slightest modicum of credit for giving the bullies a little bit of extra comeuppance with the soap gag, but then Ben and Betty are bullied by children. These are two people who have been trained as security guards for a private military corporation. I don't care how goofy they are, that's stupid. This third con is going to flow very neatly into my overall impression of this episode. One, because I sometimes try to pretend to be a talented writer, but two, mainly just because that's how it worked out. This felt like the cookie-cutter episode of Power Rangers. A kid gets bullied, a ranger teaches them karate, but the real strength was inside them all along. We do get back to the Beast Powers plot, and then immediately stall it with that blasted literally and figuratively, data chip. The monster gets away from the tool turned into a robotic monster motif with a very Zedian monster. Fall to the Sentai footage, I know, but they didn't have to use this monster. And it was also weird to get yet another episode pre-Gold and Silver Rangers after they've already been introduced, although the slightest of credit for filming some original footage, so we at least get to see them morphed. As I said, that leads neatly into my overall impression. There was no point to this episode. This was more filler that could be placed anywhere, this time in the Beast Powers arc because of the data chip. We learned that Ravi is an artist, and that is literally the only relevant piece of the plot. In the end, this actually feels remarkably like the latest issue of Go-Go Power Rangers, issue number 24. Minor review spoiler. It's a nice enough story, it just didn't hold enough meaning for me. And yes, children, Power Rangers is a 24-minute toy commercial played on the Magic Electric Smiles box, where they that wear the nanofiber suits fight they of the rubber-suited monster variety. My point is that to this point, Beast Morphers has been more than that. Beast Morphers has been a deeper, more meaningful story with multi-episode arcs and great character development. We've definitely hit a swoon, and 13 turned out to be quite unlucky indeed. And speaking of pausing the plot, next week we get to another one of my Power Rangers bugaboos. Now, we all know that children are required pretty much by law to not watch television any day of the week in which Halloween takes place. They can't do it. So, shows have to do their Halloween episodes in advance of that week because costumes are funny. This is actually surprisingly close to Halloween for Power Rangers run on Nickelodeon. So let's skip ahead and take a peek at the 21st episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Hypnotic Halloween. Devin must save his friends after Scrozzle hypnotizes the other Beast Morphers Rangers into believing that they are the characters that they dressed up as for Halloween. Heroes, friends, wonderful people on the other side of this Electric Magic Smiles box, that's going to wrap up another Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode review. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Down in the comments below, let me know what you thought of this episode, as well as my review of it. Kind of the same question as last time. We'll change it up a little bit. How did you feel about this episode in terms of how it presented its moral and just its overall quality? I've actually already seen some replies to my mentioning this on Twitter saying that, yeah, this was the worst episode of the season, even by people who have watched the international spoilers and seen all the way through to the end. They said that, yeah, this was the low point. But what did you think? Let me know down in the comments below. While you happen to be down in the comments, make sure you smack that thumbs up button, letting me know that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see all of my videos and ring that bell. Get those notifications set up so you'll be notified whenever I post brand new videos, such as these Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode reviews. And if you'd like to lend any financial support to the channel, you can become one of my patrons. Please visit www.patreon.com/OrangeRangerVideos, where you can find information on my various tiers. I already have a couple of patrons, very grateful to them. You should see their names somewhere on the end slate because they're at that $5 tier. Very much appreciate the support. If you can't commit to a monthly Patreon thing, head on over to ko-fi.com/OrangeRangerVideos, where you can buy me a coffee. That of the imaginarily delicious type, as I set it down. Those are set at $3, and I greatly appreciate any support I find on either of those sites, or just sharing my videos, letting other people know, etc., etc. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. Once he learns a couple of moves, no bullies are ever gonna, what? Shoot. Nate theorizes that he plays his trumpet back at the monster. It's a tuba. Nate theorizes that if they could generate a similar sound wave, they could jackrabbit swords. Especially since he made sure that the other Rangers weren't looking even at the end of the episode. Devin must save his friends after Scrozzle hypnotizes... Devin must save his friends after Scrozzle hypnotizes the other Beast Morphers Rangers into believing that they are the characters they... Should I do this in a spooky voice? I should do this in a spooky voice. Devin must save his friends after Scrozzle hypnotizes the other Beast Morphers Rangers into